Yahweh. Knowing Yahweh as he ought to be known. Yada to Yadahim. Yadai to Yadahim. And are we doing that? Your responsibility is when you see truth is to what? Grab hold of it. Follow it wherever it leads. For if what YahShuah claimed to be, if that is truth, our eternality, our eternal destiny hinge on that. And right now, based upon my research, based upon what has been presented in Torah and in the New Covenant, it is exclusively true. Listen, I cannot do it. No man can know my wife. But not just because I can know my wife, that doesn't mean you don't know I have a wife. You could see her. You could choose to accept her as my wife, or you could choose to reject her. I can tell somebody about my wife, but not just because they haven't seen my wife, that doesn't mean she doesn't what? Exist. But you now could have a wife. And you could be living with her for 30, 40 years and you don't know her because you never take time to what? To know her. She's not your Azer connector. Let me finish the Azer connector and I'm true. And Canaan means to what? To establish firm. And when you construct Gador, right? And it comes from 6 root. You can construct it in 6 root. Hear what it means. To separate and divide. To separate and divide. So your wife, she could separate and divide. And she does separate and divide. Either separate and divide you onto what? Life or onto what? Death. What Eva did? What she did? The mother of all living. Then you can have Gadal. And what Gadal mean? Gadolah. Gadal, what means? Great, big, right? To increase and expand. What behind every great man is a what? A great Gadol. Hey, Gadolah, great woman. Is she a great woman? Gada. Very silent, very subtle, with the I at the end. It means to cut off or to chop off. To cut off or to chop off. Then you have Gadaf. It means to scorn. A woman could bring you to scorn, or you and that woman could bring the world to scorn at you. And why the world will scorn at you? You see, now I have a good Gadolah. I have a good Gadol, because it's all in perspective in who she chooses to be within what? Characteristic and relationship to her point of origin, because she chooses to stand on the side of life. So now I, as a result of she being a Gadolah, Gabriela, the world scorn at me because everything that comes out of my lip is what? Yod He Wav He Emet. Then Gada, it means to enclose or to keep out. So you see what the woman does? The woman now can act in 2 dimensions. Het is either what? Is either she keeping you within him, or she keeping you outside of him. You got to choose. And it's right there in the opening passage of Genesis chapter 2. I think it's 18 or 15. You've seen what Hashem is saying. What he's saying? He's saying that your is our connector. She will be only what you allow her to what? Because who was the teacher's wife? That's right.
Wait, the man can teach his wife?
That's right. Only him can teach his wife. Nobody else can teach. No pastor, no leader, no father, no mother. Nobody could teach a man's. Nobody. But her husband. This is why the husband ought to be taught by whom?
Yeah.
By whom?
Yeshua.
No. The husband ought to be taught by whom?
The Father.
The father. The husband is not taught by the father. He would not know how to please that. And which father do you think it is? The father, his father, or the father of the bride? You see, when you see now how the relationship start prior even the consummation of marriage. So the relationship had to be tight. It's not after the marriage you get into. No, the man is prior the marriage. Prior hoopa. Prior the exchange of the word. Prior all of that is when you get to know the individuals. This is why the blessing of the father is of extreme importance. So that now the son know that he is carrying on who? The legacy of whom? Hashem. So tonight, know that YahShuah, when he wrote on the sign, he wrote Hak, which means life. Hana, to give, gracious, for he cared for us. And if we, so what? If we so confess with our mouths and believe with our hearts, and we shove means to repent. If we come back, because this is what this letter is telling us. We always running and return. We run and return. We run and return. It's time to what? Stop running. Just return home. And how you return home? Shav. Shav. Shin, Wav, Bet. Shav. YahShuah is the one to connect this entity, or to bring back this entity to the house, to the bed. Because we could be destruction to ourselves and to anyone we come into contact with. Shalom, and see you next week.